Hello everyone, myself Riyas from Visual Communication Department, JJ College of Arts and Science, Pudukkottai. Today we are talk about introduction to photography. First of all, what is photography? Photography is an art form like drawing and painting. Photographers use their camera to make us see life is an different way, feel the emotions and record the stories and the events. There are three basic styles of photography. First one landscape, second one portrait, third one documentary. What is landscape photography? Landscape photography is a photograph of the outdoors. It could be a land, water or buildings. Portrait photography. Portrait photography is a photo of persons or animal. It is important to show an emotions. For example, what is the emotion show in the photo? Scared, angry, others. They are all seeing point in perspective to the saw image. For the examples for portrait photography, portraits can be the whole body or face emotions or like angry and the happiness into face. It's called photography to efficient to sonus. Uh, what is portrait photography? Portrait photography is a picture of person or animal. They show an emotional connection. Already told that what is portrait photography. Now we are discuss about in explanation. Documentary. Uh, Documentary photography is a present fact without changing anything. Uh, Good documentary photograph make you wonder what is the story is behind the photographs. It's called documentary photography. There are two types. What are the stories in these photos? Left one and right one. Similarly, both are same, but left side is adult, right side is children's based documentaries. And where do you find the documentary photographs? Example, newspaper, magazines, books, and internet. Documentary photographs can be either landscape or portraits. Left one portrait for example, right one landscape for example. Which photo shows is a portrait and which shows a landscape. Let's see. Documentary photograph is tells a story without changing any in the fact. It can be a portrait or landscape. Already told about that. Remember that a good documentary photograph make you wonder what the story is the behind the picture. Some important tools. Photography was many kind of tools using their photographs, but some important tools are here: context, rules of third, point of view, and proximity. There are tools to help master the art of photography. Contrast. Contrast refer to the brightness between the light and the shadows areas of picture. Does the photograph have contrast? Does it have contrast? What direction is the light of trees are coming from? Contrast. Contrast is the difference between light and shadows. Think about a flash in a dark room. Don't think about zebras or pianos. Lights and shadows for the great example. And very important one, rules of third. Rules of third is one of the most basic technique of composition and the important one too. With the rule of third, the photographer breaks down the photos into thirds horizontally or vertically, so you have 9 equal parts. One photograph uses the rules of that and the other uses center of focus. Left one example for center focus, right one focus for the rule of third. Which photograph do you find more interesting and why? Yes, because left one fully focused in subject only, but right one to saw the image in cinematic and uniqueness of the photographs. So we all use most of time rules of third here. And and another one, POV. POV, it's called point of view. Try selecting an unusual point of view. Eye level, above, below. Left one, eye level. Eye level for photographer hold the camera in normal eye level to photograph. Eye level and above means photographer eye level to upper the shot. Below, eye level below the shot, it's called point of view. Example, eye level above and below, where the photographer standing for each photograph in the picture. Another one, proximity. Photographers, don't be shy, get close to your subject. Importance to subject to justification of photographs. Finally, yet most common photograph effects. One, bokeh effect. Bokeh effect is commonly used here many wedding photographers. Bokeh is the aesthetic quality of blur, the amount of out of focus area of the image. It is the how the light render the lighted area that are out of focus. For the example, for bokeh photography. And panning. Panning is the horizontally or vertically rotational movement of an image or video. It's an old age technique. With the example of panning, already we talk about that rules of third. Rules of third is the one of the most basic technique of composition. With the rules of third, the photographer breaks down the photo into thirds, horizontally and vertically, so you have 9 equal parts. The examples for rules of third photograph. The golden hour, very important timing for photography. The golden hour, also known the magic of hours, refers to first hours of the sun rises and the last hour of the sun sets. It's called golden photography. These are the examples of golden photography. And biobonic ratio. Biobonic ratio is a crystal and another guidelines of composition and is an intricate version of rules of thirds. This called also rules of third or POV shots. For the example of Fibonacci ratio photography. Fill flash. Fill flash is a technique in photograph where the photographers use the flash to fill in dark areas of the image. It's in the perfect for backlight environmental. Examples here. And long exposure shot. Long exposure is another interesting photography effects which entail a narrow aperture and long duration. Shutter speed, this is done in order to create dreamy landscape capturing the stationary elements while blurring the moving elements of the image. Example, fireworks and long light photography for the great example for long exposure photography. And contre-jour. Contre-jour is a popular photography effect in French for against daylight. The camera is directly point towards the light source. Contre-jour is basically the fancy speak of chill out photography. The light source is located directly behind the subject. Many one notes chill out photography. Example as. Finally, conclusion. Art is about exploring yourself and your medium. After all, to be an artist of your own, you have to learn the basics first you them. That's why Pablo Picasso and Van Gogh did. One should really use the camera, as through tomorrow you would be a stricken blind. Thank you everyone.